having issues with your spending habits? Are you having issues with budgeting? Are you having issues with paying off of debt? Do you want to learn how to do this better? So we want to know what you hope to learn from this workshop. So you can make use of the chat box, and I'll be waiting for your responses. Yeah. No response? Okay, I hope you're typing. I'm sure you're typing. Your name, what you do, and what you hope to learn from this session. Okay, all right. I haven't gotten a response yet. Oh, hi, welcome, Ade. So nice to meet you. Yay. So Ade wants to learn about financial freedom. And yes, if you actually follow through with this session with all of what we've planned out, I'm going to be telling you what we're going to be doing, all of our agendas and our plans. If you actually follow through, guess what? You're definitely going to attain financial freedom in the coming years. It's no cap. I don't know which other word to tell you that yes, we are prepared for you. We have workbooks, we have strategies, we have ideas that are going to help you to achieve all of these things that you want to achieve in this year and in years to come. These ideas, these teachings, all of them are evergreen and can be used over and over again to achieve all of your goals that you want to achieve. So what we have for you today is we're going to be doing introductions, of which, yes, we're already on that. And we're also going to be working with a balance sheet and a net worth. So if you don't know what a balance sheet is or a net worth calculator is, it's basically you trying to gather out all of the things that you own and trying to understand where exactly you stand financially. Most of the time, it would have been easier to just say, okay, do it by yourself. But now we're having this workshop here to help you out. That is why I said, get your jotters ready, get your pens ready, get your journals ready, because what you are going to learn is evergreen. It is going to take you from that point where you are to where you want to be. Then we have Beth, a landscape photographer, and would like to learn more about asset management and Then we have Ilma Frank that would also want to learn more about personal finance management. Yeah. So apart from that, we're also going to be talking about something called 2M and AP. Don't worry, when we get to that section of the program, you're going to understand what our 2M and our P is. Then we're going to have an actual budget. We're going to actually build an actual budget for you. So we're already in mid-January and you need a budget for the next month. You need a budget for the whole year. So we're going to be helping you build a budget in real time. Then definitely our announcement and vote of thanks. Trust me, what I just said are just 5 things. But by the time we start, you see the importance of having to spend 2 hours with us to learn these things. And I am your personal finance girl. And today, our host is Eniola or Osadere. So Eniola is going to be taking us through this workshop. Yes, she's going to take us through this workshop. And I'm going to do a quick bio of Eniola, what we should know about her and why we should listen to her and understand and why we should actually take this session really, really seriously. So Eniola is an ambassador of Christ, representing God in technology and finance sector. She's a product manager in Nigeria, transitioned from being a web front-end developer into being a product management. Then she's highly dedicated, definitely outgoing and well organized. She's a very, very organized person. Also, she's someone who excels at establishing connection with cross-functional engineering teams and business decision makers, gathering pertinent requirements and guiding goal-oriented products or businesses to solutions to satisfy organizational goals, just like what her product management job is. Then she has also accumulated the knowledge and experience through the Holy Spirit over the years that has helped her succeed in various tech roles and functions. She has worked in finance sector since 2015 and has gathered a lot of knowledge about finance and investment management. She has also implemented technical systems for financial institutions and developed solutions that aid in-house productivity. She's learned quite a thing about financial management and would love that this knowledge does not end with her. So she's able to use it to bring financial understanding to generations to come. Based off of this, she started the Money Monday podcast. I'm sure a lot of us know Eniola from the Money Monday podcast. And this journey actually started on the 14th of February, 2022, with a vision to help humanity stop empowering mammon and start saving money, but serve only God as well. So it's not just about saving money, it's more about also using these resources to serve God. So today, history is made to the glory of God at Rehab, because we will not only help to rehabilitate your finance, but we hope that with the help of the Holy Spirit, you understand the principles that internal wealth and prosperity is all about. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be starting the session shortly. So thank you, Eniola. I'll be handing over the mic to you. I see that you're ready for us. So thank you so much for hosting this session, and we would love to hear from you now.
Thank you very much, Oluchukwu. Please, can you confirm you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, thank you. Hi, everyone. How are we doing? I hope we're doing great. I just want to, first of all, say thank you for, let's say thank you, or just well done for taking this wonderful step into joining us here. It's, trust me, it's actually one of the best decisions that you would make in January, and if not for the rest of the year, to actually take hold of your finance and, you know, treat it as intentional as you should. Yesterday, if you're on the WhatsApp community, we had sent a template to everyone that you should download this and just put all of your finance together, like put it, it's okay. The reason why we sent it earlier is so that by the time we start talking about some stuff today, you are not looking for how much is in UBA or how much is in GC Bank and start putting it together. So you just have the figures here on this Excel sheet and you're just doing the plug and play. And if you have not done that, Oluchukwu, please, can you put the seller link on the chat? So she'll put the seller link on the chat. Just click on it. It's free on seller. So just click on it and download it on your computer or your phone. I prefer computer because of Excel, but your phone, if you can put it in landscape and use it, that works as well. So click on the seller link and download this and just start to, you know, the ones you can remember, just put them together, the debts that you have. I don't know how many of us have been in my previous shoes. I used to have a lot. So you can just put all of them together so that as we go on, you are not behind and you understand everything that I'm saying. Yeah, so that is that. I want to assume that we are, okay, yeah, okay. All right, that's it. Let's check the chat and we can download this. It's free. So I'm going to just go right into balance sheets, right? So for a company would normally prepare a balance sheet, right? And I'm sure a lot of us are wondering, how do I prepare a balance sheet for myself? Like something like that. But then what's in a layman term, not looking at how finance people will define balance sheet. Balance sheet is just where you see your assets versus your liability, right? And just like the name balance sheet, a balance sheet is always balanced. Like it always equates to, like your assets always equates to your balance sheet. Let me just say that and not bring in some technical terms. So I just want you to have that in your head. That's what a balance sheet is. It's just a sheet where you, from there you can, you know, put your asset and your liability together and they equate, right, together. So we're going to be computing our balance sheets. And like Oluchukwu said, it's a very practical class. So this is like the format that I've put together for myself. I used it for myself and it's also applicable. It was verified by an ICANN certified accountant. So here you can just put your name. So my name is Osadare Eniola. And we're preparing the balance sheet as of today, right? Balance sheet as of today's date is 17th. Right, so for the purpose of those that might want to ask questions, please just put up your hand and then we would call, just so that we make it a little, so it's not tacky, right? So just put up your hand and we would call you for questions, right? So the left-hand side is the liabilities, the right-hand side is assets. So from normal natural English definition, asset is what you own, liability is what you owe, right? What you owe, and asset is what you own, right? So the category, we have different categories under assets, right? So for the category 1, we have cash and cash equivalents. So the money that you have in your purse right now, in your wallet right now, in your bank accounts right now, that's what is going to be in this first category. So we're going to be analyzing that. Something just jumped in my mind now that I want to say, that balance sheet is very important, because what you don't understand, what you don't analyze, what you don't even know, you cannot grow. For you to be able to grow your finance, for you to be able to attain financial freedom, you need to understand how money is coming in and going out for you, right? How much, like I can ask now, how much are you paying to banks for bank charges in a month? I know you will say somewhere around, but it's going to be funny that some of us that are not using Kuda, we are spending over 3,000 naira on bank charges. Like, that's money for lunch for 2 days. Why? That's a whole lot of money. And that will be you pay that POS withdrawal, or the money you pay when you are withdrawing from another bank's ATM, or the money that they charge from you when they are sending you SMS debit alerts, right? By the time you aggregate everything, you see that it's going way off the roof, which is not supposed to. So back to our balance sheet, cash and cash equivalent. So I know some of us used to have our salary account. For those that are working, we used to have our salary account aside from our normal accounts. For those that are not working, you have your business account from your normal accounts, right? That's ideal. If you don't have it, please start having it today. Like, very ideal. That's what you should do. So your salary accounts right now, how much do you have, right? So let's assume that Eniola has 21,000 in a salary account. You know, the year is coming to an end now, salary has finished. So that's what I have remaining. Then petty cash account. So petty cash account, your salary account, just for some clarity, so you understand what you're doing, you can put UBA. Say, for instance, your company pays your salary into your UBA account, right? Then petty accounts. Now, the normal meaning of petty cash is a company would have a pause, like every week or every day, depending on how much the company transacts. They will put maybe cash. It can be cash sometimes. They can just drop like 20K for petty. So petty might be money for pencil, money for fuel, money for, do you understand? So petty accounts for me would be that account that I use for my expense. So when I get my salary, say my salary is 100,000. When I get my 100,000 salary, I would remove 20,000 naira for expense. So my 20,000 naira, I will send it to my petty account, right? And my money that will be remaining in my salary account will be 80,000, right? Then from my petty account. So a lot of times I would advise that you use Kuda for your petty accounts, because they don't charge for transfers and some other things, at least up to some certain levels, right? So you put your money in your petty account and you start deducting from it gradually, right? So in your petty account as of today, say, let's say the petty account, just like we said, is Kuda, right? So your petty account as of today is 2,000 naira. That's what is remaining there. Then savings account. So I don't know how many of us have a lot of savings account like I do. You know, it comes from all those accounts that we have opened right from when we're NYC days, right from when we're in school and all that. So I ended up having like 6 to 7 savings accounts, right? So let's look at, if we aggregate how much we have in all those savings accounts. Some of us is 100 naira that is there. Some of us is 90 naira that is there. Some of us is 50.2 kobo that is there. So let's aggregate all of them together. Say the amount that we have is 950 naira 27 kobo. right? Now, another savings account, let's say PiggyVest. How much do you have in PiggyVest? You have been able to save 1.5, right? Of course, this is not to say that, but I'm just using the bare minimum, so that nobody's under pressure here. So, do we have invested? So another category is invested assets, right? So for invested assets, you can have stocks, bonds, agro products, agricultural investments, any kind of investment that you have. So let's say you are using PiggyVest for your investments, or Bamboo, or any of these platforms that you're using. Be careful though. So let's say, imagine you are using any one of them. And let's aggregate what is the worth of that investment as at today. It means you're going to calculate your principal, and if it's an investment that gives you 10% per annum, right, you need to divide that 10% divided by 12 months for you to calculate how many percent per month. Does that make sense? I invested in agricultural products, right? And the principal investment that I did is 200,000. But let me just use small figure. I did 20,000. So I did 20,000 investments, right? And then I want to calculate how much is my interest. Say my interest is 10% per annum, 10%, right? And today it has matured last year, but we are in January. So I want to know how much it is. Although, let me not stress us because it's too much math before some people will be like, I'm saying jargons. If you do calculate on any of the apps, I can say that because at least I've reviewed a couple of them. On any of the apps, if you do calculate, it will show you what is your interest part as at today. So for 20,000, let's say the interest is around, the interest that you've collected last year is 2,000 naira, that's 22,000 naira. Then the interest for today, let's say 100 naira. Let's say 22,100 naira, right? Then for stocks, I don't know if any one of us do stocks here. I'm a big advocate of stocks. And say, for instance, Eniola has MTN stocks that is worth 10,000 naira. Okay, this is the money that I have. So for pension, so for some of us that are working class, remember we're using salary accounts here. You have your pension, your company pays your pension. Well, not all of us, but say for instance, you're working in a company that pays your pension. Now, pension is very important, even though a lot of us in Lagos, Nigeria, or in Nigeria in total, we actually don't rate. But trust me, it's very important because by the time you work 9 to 5 all your life, you have something that has been gradually removed for you from your salary. And at the end, you can either use it to start a company or you use it to, keep it as a trust fund for your grandchildren and some other things, right? Remember, the Bible says a rich man keeps wealth for his children, grandchildren, and all right? So let's not go to that side. So pension fund, let's say we've just started working now, we have just 200,000 in our pension fund. So our total investment is 210. Our total cash is 25,450.27. Now let's look at our personal assets. We're talking about assets, right? So cash is like current assets. That is, current assets are those assets that you can quickly liquidate. Those are cash. So cash and investments are current assets. So let's look at fixed assets and non-current assets. So that's fixed assets are those assets that you have in your house, like your computer, your TV. Well, so it depends on the kind of TV that you can call fixed asset actually. Some TVs, they don't have any value as of today anymore. But say for instance that you have sorry, 1 second, let me check the charts because I feel like okay, I'm not able to download the budget. Okay, so the budget template is not for free. The budget template is for sale. Hello, please can you mute your mic? So the budget template is for sale. That's this template I'm using is on seller, but it's not for free. But the only template that is for free is the personal balances, the one you need to put your balances, and it's free, right? Okay, you get the link. Yes, the link is already on seller. The link to this template is already on seller, but the link for the recorded version will be put on seller afterwards. Sorry for the deviation. Okay, so we're talking about fixed assets, right? So please, I beg in the name of God, there are some things that you cannot put as fixed asset, because by the time we look at the rates of those assets as at today, they wouldn't materialize into anything for real, right? But if they can materialize into something, so for instance, you use an iPhone. So I use an iPhone iPhone XR. And if you look at the what's in the market, last time I checked, it was around 150,000. And it's so painful because I bought the iPhone. Well, let's not deviate, all right? So the current value is 150,000, right? So you want to put your iPhone here. So this is the header of this. It says personal use assets. Let me just put it on that computer, 150. Prepaid rent, right? So a lot of us, we pay our rents in advance in Nigeria, right? Well, except for some of us. But a couple of us here, you agree with me that you pay your rent in advance. It means it's an asset, right? You have money that you're not using somewhere. So that's what's called prepaid rent. So if we calculate, this is just January, some of us can have like till December. So calculate that your rent is 10,000 per month. And if you do 10,000 times 11, that's 110. So we have prepaid rent of 110, right? So furniture and appliances. So what do you have? Do you have a good cushion? Emphasis on good cushion chair. That if you give it to a thrift collector, she will at least give you some value for it. Do you have a mattress that you bought at high quality? Do you have? So what do you have? So let's check the worth. So say for instance, Eniola has a mattress. She has a chair, and she has a TV, and then she has a game console, right? So let's look at the worth. A mattress right now can still worth around say 50K ish. A chair 50K, that's 100K. TV 100K, that's 200. A game console, let's say give or take 100, that's 300, right? So our furniture and appliances is 100,000. Okay, computer. I think computer, Eniola does not have a computer. Let's imagine that Eniola does not have a computer. So the total of your personal use assets is 560,000. So if you add your total cash equivalents here and your total investment here, as well as your total personal assets, it's going to give you 795,50.27 thousand. Wow, Eniola is rich. All right, so now let's go to liability. Liability. Now, liability is what you owe, right? So for outstanding loans, that now we're going to put our loans here. Say, for instance, you have loans. Say, for instance, you have, so for credit card, if you have a credit card, I recently found out that the credit card exists in Nigeria, and I was like, wow. So if you have a credit card and you max it out, for instance, so you put it here. So let's say outstanding loans without interest. This one is 100,000. Now, credit card with interest. So you just calculate how much is it with interest as at today. So let's say you took a credit card loan for like 200K with an interest of say 1% per month. That is an annual interest of 12% per annum, right? So for today, what's the 1% of 200,000? That's like 2,000 naira, if I'm not mistaken, thereabouts. So 2,000 naira. So what you have is 200,000, right? So this is your total liability. So now let's calculate your net worth. So your net worth is always a calculation of your assets minus your liability, right? So if you look at it, C25 here minus like F9, that's what you get. So this is your net worth. So as of today, if you're asking how much is Eniola worth, this Eniola, not this Eniola. So how much is Eniola worth? Eniola is worth 493,450.27. Oh wow, she's not even worth up to 500,000. So it's okay. Some of us, we can do this calculation of ourselves, and you say that you're even worth a minus. It's fine. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. That's why we're not showing anybody's this thing. You're not showing it to anyone. You're just showing it to yourself. See, the worst thing you can do in this life is tell a lie to yourself. Like, you can lie to everyone else, but you can't lie. You shouldn't lie to yourself, because you hate yourself if you're lying to yourself. You need to tell yourself the truth at every point. So at this point, this is how much this person is worth, right? And the total liability is this, right? So if you do total liability, the net worth is always under the liability, so it balances out the assets. So yes, this is how to calculate your net worth. This is how to calculate your balance sheet. Any question? Let me put the chat. Yes. Yes, wigs pass as personal use asset. Let me add it. Eniola has wigs. Yes, your wig. So, and that is why I would always say that if you cannot afford to buy a good wig, don't bother. Don't bother buying wig, because if you didn't buy a good wig, right? How then do you want to account for it in 2 years' time? So let's say she has just one bob wig, and it is how much? I think I saw Dupe on the call earlier. How much the bob wig, Dupe? Tell us. Is she still on the call? Yeah. Okay. So let's imagine a bob wig is 200,000. Until Dupe comes to send us a message. Yeah, and that's what has increased. Yeah, because if you come the air and take it outside again to sell it, my dear, you get your money back. So it's an asset, right? Right. So, guys, any question? Please ask me questions. Ask me questions. Ask me questions. I'm here on the chat. If you are not able to unmute, you can just send. It's supposed to be a very, very interactive session. So, guys, let's ask the question. But if there are no question, I'm just going to be handing over back to Oluchukwu. So yeah, Oluchukwu, over to you.
All righty. So people should ask questions. So yeah, someone again has asked, Temitope said, can wigs be an asset? Yes, Eniola just told us that. Eniola, can you explain to us why a wig is an asset?
I think I explained earlier. A wig is an asset because it is something that at any point you can pick it up and resell it. Yeah, emphasis on a good wig, please. Right. So if you have a good wig, right, like the popular bone straights, right, it can pass as an asset. So it is an asset. Yes, it is an asset. So assets is anything that you own. Anything that you own.
Yeah. So yes, I absolutely agree with Eniola on this, because once you get a good quality wig, once you have something that is of great value, as when you're buying it, you have like 5 years down the line, you're still using it. For the ladies here, the wig on my head is a double drawn, and I've gotten it since 2017. Every time I go out, people still ask me, is this wig new? When did you get it? Where did you get it? And at 2017, 40K was big money for me. But it is absolutely worth it, because this is 5 years, is it 5, 6? Yeah, 6 years down the line, I'm still enjoying my bouncy hair. So it's definitely an asset for ladies, but you don't want to splurge on it, please. So,
yeah.
So back to our agenda. Like, remember I said that we're going to be like having different sessions at different points in times and what they are going to be. So we currently now, we just did our net worth and our balance sheet. And the next on the list is the 2 M's and 1 P. So basically, this is an acronym for different things that we believe at the Money Monday podcast, what we hold on to. The first one is our motive. The first thing we want to always look at is our motive. Why exactly do we want to make money? Why are we trying to get financial freedom? Why are we trying to attend rehab? What is our motive behind this? And for you to be able to do, I'm sorry, please can you mute your
submit your
mic?
course registration.
Hi, please can you mute your mic?
And they've not approved it. They've not approved our
Yeah,
one.
please can you help?
All right, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay, thank you very, very much. Okay, so as I was saying, what is your motive for wanting to make money? You have to answer a few questions, right? You have to answer these questions for yourself. Why do I want to be rich? Why do I want to make money? Why do I want to be good at managing my money? Because answering these questions literally tells you what your motive is. Is it that you want to be rich for only yourself, or you want to be rich so you can help people? You want to be rich so you can give. You want to be rich so you can do something more meaningful. You want to be rich so you can have generational wealth. Guess what? Generational wealth is for everybody. It doesn't matter where you are right now or where you are coming from. You can actually put up structures in place to help you get better with your money. So you want to answer a question like, what does it mean to be rich? What does being rich mean to you? Answering these questions, I want you to write it down, please, so you can ask yourself these questions later on. So you want to have like all of these things written out somewhere, so that when you start to ask yourself, like, why exactly am I going to work? Why exactly do I have to work? Why exactly do I have to like have a side hustle, an extra source of income? This actually is your answer. And when you go back, you have a reason to continue, because there are days when you feel like quitting. But when you have this already sorted out, it already helps you to answer like this. So I've asked like I think more than 3 questions. Why do you want to be rich? And what does being rich mean to you?
Yes,
so you
before you move to the next before you move to the next right? So I'm so sorry, I'm going to be bringing in a little bit of Bible verses just to help back up our claim, right? So the Bible says in the book of Isaiah 14 verse 18 that, oh, that you had paid attention to my commandment, then your peace will be like a river, the Lord declares, right? A great deal of the anxiety we feel about money today comes from paying sufficient attention to what God is saying regarding, right? So when we're talking about motive, I really would advise that let our motive be in alignment with what God is saying, right? And a fundamental, perhaps even most important thing you want to know about money is that it will seek to out God from being number one in your life. Like, one thing about money is that it usually will out God from being number one in your life. And the Lord wants us and confront us between choosing choices between God and money. He says in the book of Matthew 6:24 that no one can serve 2 masters at a time, right? It's either you choose God or mammon, right? So it is your master is God, and there is really no number 2, because it is simply God, no 2 master. You can't serve 2 masters, so there's no number 2. It is God. So we need to come to the understanding that God desires wealth for us, right? God desires wealth for us, and He has owned all things. He's wealthy. It is evident in the people in the Bible, from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob, David, and even Solomon, to now top it all off. Those are like people, to mention but a few, right, that lacked nothing because they were in alignment with God. You know, I still used to ask my friends to say, imagine if you had to become the president of Nigeria tomorrow, and God is telling you, ask me one thing, as you are beginning to become the president of Nigeria. I know some of us, we go and ask God, just tell me the strategy to just overcome corruption. Or some people say, give me plenty money, let me win money. But it's so funny, like, I still really cannot comprehend how Solomon just went about and said, just give me wisdom. Just give me wisdom. And God was blown. I was like, oh, with wisdom and all other things are going to be added onto it. So what's your motive, really? One reason many never reach, one reason that a lot of us never reach financial freedom that God has available for us is because we have not gotten our understanding right. Like, we've not understand the unimportance of money. And to be honest, that's like it, because Another verse that comes to mind is Luke 16:10, where the Bible says that he who is faithful in little is faithful in much. The one who is dishonest in little is also dishonest in much. So just like Oluchukwu has said, I really need you to ask yourself, why do I need to get rich? Why do I need money? Right? God has blessed me. What's the purpose? What's your why? Why do you need money? Right. So that's what I have to add to Moti.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to call you in for the next one as well. So the last question you want to add to your Moti is, what do you want to use this wealth for? Because it's also very important to know what you want to use the money for. So it's not like when I get money, what exactly do you want to use the money for when you eventually get that money? So these are like questions that you want to add to your motives to understand and to always fall back to. Next, the second M. Remember I said it was 2M and 1P. The next one is your mindset. Mindset. So there's this popular saying that when it comes to money, money is 80% mindset and 20% of the work. So I know that I've worked with people who have literally said, I can never be rich. I don't have enough money. I don't know how to do it. I cannot do that. If you're already having limiting beliefs, if you already have a limiting mindset of negative, whenever it comes to your money, oh, this investment I'm going to do, I think the investment is going to crash. This money I want to save, the company is going to run away with it. What happens is that at the end of the day, all you've been thinking about, all of the things you've been projecting end up coming to you. So when it comes to your money, you want to have a very good mindset, a positive mindset that literally tells you the good parts, the positive parts. Whatever you confess with your mouth, it comes out. The Bible already said that the power of death lies on the tongue, like life and death is in your tongue. It also aligns with when it comes to every other aspect of your life. And now that we are talking about your finances, it is not limited. It is not removed from your finances. It applies here. I can give like a literal example of myself. Last year, beginning of last year, I was jobless. Middle of last year, I literally changed my name to Opulence. Opulent. I told myself that I can't continue like this. Whatever I want should come to me. Whatever I need should come to me. I had a business that was running, that was funding me, but I wanted a full-time role that would give me this security of, okay, at the end of the month, you're earning something. Guess what happened? It wasn't up to 2 weeks after I literally changed that name that I had 2 different job offers. I did not apply for any of them. They just came to meet me that, I can see that you are doing this thing. I need somebody like you on my team. And I got 2 different job offers. So this thing about your mindset actually plays a very important role. So what is that thing that you want? How wealthy do you want to become? How do you want to attain financial freedom? It starts with your mind. It starts with you literally telling yourself that, okay, I'm going to make this amount of money. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I know that money needs me. I think my shirt says money needs me. I've been so big on affirming things that I want for myself. So you want to also have that part of your life where your mindset actually plays a big role in your decision making. You already tell yourself what you want, then you put in the work to do the rest of it. So, and yeah, is what you like to add to mindset?
Okay, so yeah, Oluchukwu said a lot of it. How rich do you want to be? Right? So your thoughts control more than you can possibly imagine. Like, it's not an understatement. You have to define the shape of your life. So if, I don't know, any one of us have read the story of Elon Musk, right? And how he launched a reusable rocket, right? So it's not because he was rich, he had a big mindset. Because he wasn't even rich at the point when he fathomed that reusable rocket idea. It was because he had a big mindset. That was why he became rich. I have a question for you. What kind of mindset do you have? A CEO mindset or a gatesman mindset? Right? Somebody once said something that if we pack the whole money in this whole world and you distribute it to everybody, say give everybody 1 million, 1 million, 1 million. Give us like 3 months, you will notice that the poor will become poor back, the rich will become rich again, the middle class will remain the middle class. Everybody will go back to where they used to be because the rich has a mindset, right? A rich man would tell you what he's thinking of. A poor person will tell you what you're thinking of. So what are you engaging your mind with? Who are the people that you are in the same caliber with? I'm so sorry again. I'm going to share something in the Bible, in the book of Luke 16:9. And it says, and I will tell you, make friends for yourself by means of a righteous word, so that when it fails, they may receive you into eternal dwelling. Right? This story was a story of a dishonest manager, but he understands the appropriate use of money. Right? This is the crux of the often misunderstanding. It's an often misunderstanding parable in the Bible. Right? This man realized that security of his job is about to get lost. What did he do? He quickly just, change, look at people that were owing his masters, and he negotiated with them. After negotiating with them, he was able to, gain his. I don't think he was able to gain his position back. But Jesus said that make friends for yourself by means of a righteous word, so that when it fails, when you fail, you may receive some other eternal dwelling. Like, he made relationship for himself, those people that he were able to reduce cost for, right? Number one, he gained his boss trust back. Number two, he made relationship with those guys that even if he loses his job today, he has relationships that can actually get him some other job. So what's your mindset? What is your mindset? What are you engaging yourself with? A lot of us, we are our own limitation, limiting ourselves with our own powerless thinking. We serve a God that is bigger than everything on this earth. Have you comprehended that? Like, have you thought about that? Like, he's bigger than everything. So why do you think small of yourself? Why do you think you need money and not money needs you? Just like Oluchukwu said, very powerful, I tell you.
Okay, thank you so much for that contribution. I hope you guys are you cool with me? Are you cool with us? So I want to move to the next.
It's like we're the only one that is enjoying this cruise.
So I want to know that we are together, because this is supposed to be an interactive session and people are not even using the chat box, you're not saying anything. Please, I want to know, I know you are listening. I know you are listening, but I want to know that you are listening. So please signify in the chat box that you are listening. Do you understand? Do you have questions? Would you like to contribute? Just type it out. I want to know. I need at least one person to type out that they are with us so that I can move to the next.
Yeah, someone said following. Someone said following.
Yay, thank you. All right. So next, last but not the least, one of what we hold really high at the Money Monday podcast is partnership. So as you can see, obviously, we are children of God. We're not just Christians, we're children of God. We believe in God. So we want everybody here to have a relationship of partnership. So do you pay your tithes? Do you give offerings? Do you do goodwills? What is that thing that you are like, okay, I'm sending this money on an errand to go and bring me more? Do you have any of those sort of commitments that you literally just put at the back of your mind that, I know that this month, my 10% is going to my tithes. This month, my 5% is going to my offering. This month, my 5% is going out to the orphanage, or is going out to do this good thing for this person or this other person. You need to have a sort of partnership. You need to have that mindset. You need to have that action that you always perform, because money is not just, obviously, it is not just something that just happens by the snap of your finger. It is something that is well thought out, strategically planned, and implemented. So you need to have partnership. You need to know that at the end of the month, who gave me this money? I want to give back to that person, because I know that by doing this, I'm going to get this in return. I know that by doing this, even if I don't get anything in return, I have done my part of the bargain, because this person has, first of all, done his part of the bargain. And the person we're talking about here is God, please. So I'm such a Jesus baby, and I want us to have that implemented in our lifestyle, that, okay, I know that I have this motive, I want to get rich. I know that I have this mindset that whatever I believe, whatever I confess, God is going to do it for me. But at the end of the day, even when he does it for me, I want to give him this percentage. I want to do this thing for him. I want to do this for myself, knowing that I love him and I just want to obey his commandments. So this is the P, which is partnership, that I want each and every one to like take note of and implement into our daily activities. Guess what? I can't remember, I don't know why I like telling stories, but I can't remember when I actually started tithing, but probably around 15 or 16. And there was a year I actually looked at my tithe book. Like reading church, they will give you this book where you have to like record what you're doing. And there was a year I looked at it and I'm like, me, a student, I had this amount of money flow through me. Like it made me understand the reason why it is so good to like track your expenses and all of that, because I wasn't tracking my expenses at that time. The only thing I was doing was tithing. And I saw that I had so much money and I had so much to be grateful for. So you want to like put this into consideration and implement this going forward in this year. Good thing this is January. So it's not like you're going to like totally say, oh, I'm going to start next year. You can start right now. You can start this month. So do you want to add anything to partnerships?
Wow. Yeah, I have a couple of things to add. So I want us to understand the power of wealth, right? You need to figure out how money works for you and not you working for money, right? You need to figure out an healthy ecosystem where money makes money for you. And that's why I encourage a lot of people that want financial freedom. First question I'm asking you is, how many streams of income do you have? I don't know, but with the situation that we have in Nigeria, I don't think you can get financial freedom with one stream of income. Let's be truthful to ourselves, right? You can't. That's just the honest truth. I can analyze to you, no matter how much you are getting a salary in a 9 to 5, you can't have financial freedom. Except if financial freedom means different meanings to each and every one of us, right? So Oluchukwu has said a lot of ways at which you can partner with God. And I can tell you, God is a rewarder. He's the best partner that you can have. He said in his word that is the rewarder of those who diligently seek him, right? So if you obey, if you partner with him, just consciously, intentionally partner with him, it is something that you would always get rewarded for, right? I have a couple of things written down. I'll just read them through and just hand over to you, Oluchukwu. So the book of Proverbs 13 verse 22 says, the benevolent man leaves an inheritance that endures his children, but the wealth of the wicked is treasured up for the righteous. What are you leaving to your children? Is it wealth or just money? It is important to know that the difference between these two, I think, is one of the things I said when we're talking about mindset, is quality relationship that you've built over time. Quality relationship as well as with God. So in case of money, how would you build quality relationship with God? I feel like it's with tithing and thanksgiving, right? The Bible also says in the book of Proverbs that generosity leads to prosperity, right? This is why Paul the apostle asked Timothy to warn those who are rich in this life not to set their hopes on riches that do not provide certainty. He said, charge them that they do good, that they be rich in good works, ready to distribute, willing to communicate, laying up in store for them a good foundation against the time to come, that they may lay hold on eternal life. Trust me, 2M and 1P is your passcode to eternal wealth. If you make use of these things, see, and it's just like what Oluchukwu said again, when at the beginning, most of the things that we are saying here are evergreen. Irrespective of any wealth manager that you go to, they would mention to you these things that we're saying. It's not rocket science. They are key to eternal wealth. So there's no longer a question of whether God will bless the work of your hands, because he said he will diligently bless you. And he's the kind of God that keeps his word. I am a testimony to that, right? And, just like Oluchukwu said, she's also a testimony to that. So I have a few questions that you want to ask yourself. Am I being a faithful steward of the riches that come into my possession? Am I securing for myself everlasting habilitation, or I am just here about building investment here, building houses and all? Am I laying hold of my internal life? So let me just wrap this up by saying the choice of course is between God and mammon. It's between God and money. Every morning when you wake up, you consciously or unconsciously make the decision to either go out there and serve God in doing your business right, partnering with him, in changing your mindset, changing your motive, or you go and serve money and chase money. right? And believe it or not, money is a god. Is a god, and you need to change your priorities. You need to change your motive, right? It was C.S. Lewis that said that if you aim for heaven, you will get heads thrown in the bargain. So you should what is supposed to be the choice of a believer. You wake up every morning and you have heaven on your mind, but you find, as the Lord promised, all other things being added to it. If you have God on your mind, if you're serving God and you know you are not really serving money. So another question, are you willing to let it all go to choose Jesus? Then how do you in every day seek God first, his kingdom first, before that 9 to 5, before that business that you need to answer clients, before anything? How do you seek God first? Lastly, and very importantly, I love to say this, however you may describe your day-to-day job, I want you to see it as a ministry. I want you to see it as where you can actually ultimately represent Christ, and how you can actually show Christ, show for Christ, right? Because let me tell you, God's agenda is to infiltrate every sector of human endeavor with the gospel of Jesus. He does this by sending us, his children, into every sphere as ambassadors for us to shine forth. He says we are the salt of the earth. So my question to you now is, how are you aligning your vision with God's vision for him to take over? Aligning your vision with God's purpose. I want you to check regularly. I want you to ensure that Christ is formed in you, right? Because this is the ultimate proof that you're on the right path, that your motive is aligned with the purpose of God, that your mindset is aligned with what God called you to be, who you are, your identity in Christ, and that you are partnering with God at every point. For every income that you get, you give it 10% to the house of God, and you're thankful for everything that you have. I wish you Godspeed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eniola, for that. Thank you so much. Okay, we are done with the second half, meaning that we've officially got into the second part of this session, and we'll be moving straight into making a budget. So please, I want to know how many of you have your pen and your paper, because this part is like the important part. This is one of the reasons some of you came here. You want to know how to manage your money better. You want to get better with your money. You need to know how to do a budget. You need to know how to track your expenses. And that is what we are going to be doing right now. So please, I want to know how many of you have your pen and your paper. How many of you are going to be writing before I hand over to Eniola? So I'm waiting for your responses. Are you ready? Are you ready for the next session? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we have a response. Eniola, over to you, please. Take us.
All right. Thank you, guys. So the first question I want to ask before we go into this session is, on an average in a month, how much do you spend? Yeah, that's a big question, right? Because I know a couple of us don't know how much you spend. Does anybody know how much you spend? On an average in a month, how much do you spend? Nobody's giving sense. 40K, all right. And now let me make it more harder. That 40K, can you break it down exactly what you spend what on? So can you break it down like exactly? Oh, wonderful. So I think I have someone I'm going to be using. So can you break it down for me? You only spend on transportation. That's not true. Because there is data. The data you're using to watch this call, did somebody dash you? Even if somebody dash you, you need to record it. So it's not just transportation. You see why I say you cannot grow what you don't know. That's it. So T, I'm waiting. Can you break it down? Can you give me an example of categories? Can you give me an example of the categories that you spend money on? Categories. I'm waiting for C. All right. Okay. Food, data, excellence. Food. Now, even food, I will break food down to groceries, takeout, right? Takeout is when you eat out, right? Groceries, takeout. Now, groceries, you break groceries down to toiletries and to what's it called? Fresh food, toiletries, fresh food, and some other things. All right. So while we are waiting for T, you can put it in the chat. I'll just show us some basic categories that I have here on this Excel sheet. If you get the Excel sheet, feel free. You can always just highlight it this way and just right click and delete it if it doesn't apply to you, right? But be sure that you don't delete this one, right? Don't delete this line. You delete like each session under it. So you can right click under pharmacy, right? And just delete pharmacy this way. You get like that. So you can right click and delete. So I'll just look at each of. So that's where you need to start your budgeting from. You need to sit down and ask yourself, how many categories do I spend? This might take you to actually download your account statement from your bank for you to now look and circle. Okay, this. That's for those that put remark. For those that don't put remark, okay, I don't know how to help you for that from there. But I feel like if you put remark, that will really help you very well. Okay, wonderful. Tea, tithe, offering, goodwill, savings, data, tea, fair, lunch. Oh, wow. I want to be like you. House expense. Wonderful, wonderful. So now we're using tea as an example. So tea for house expense, that would be family category, right? And that house expense can be activities, allowance, maybe if you give your mom allowance, medical, and then others, right? And for debts, now for those of us who have loan, you should know that loan is an expense, right? That you take out. So for loan, you can put the amount that you have as loan. Thrift, if you have thrift, a lot of us do Ajo. Yeah, we have Ajo too. So you put it there. Education, so if you're a student, you put your tuition. If you pay it yourself, for books, if you don't read, please, I want to advocate now that you should try to read. It's very important. And you can download Scribe, and read ebooks from there. It's just 5K per month. So 5K online courses, Udemy, YouTube, if you pay, put it here. And entertainment is a very long list. I know some of us have Netflix, some of us have Showmax, some of us have Apple Music. You pay for everything, put it here, right? Then your everyday is your groceries, your takeouts, that's food, your personal supplies for ladies, that goes for your sanitary pads, some of the things. Now your clothes, your laundry and dry cleaning. For some of us that hates to wash, you put your budget for laundry. Then bank charges, very important. That's your everyday. Then your goodwill fee, your offering, your goodwill will come here under gifts. Your donation to charity, your tithes, they will come here under gifts. Your medical, if you pay, if you wear glasses, please, this is not to shade you. I wear glasses as well. So if you wear glasses, you put your amount you spend. If you have HMO, that's great. But if you don't have, you want to make a budget for the things that you do here. Now for the home, say you pay maintenance, you pay your rent, some other things, you put it down here. So it goes down up to here. Technology, this transport. If you pay car parts, repairs, if you have a car, if you have a car. If you don't have a car, everything is here. Then it stops right here. Utilities is where you have your phone airtime. This phone airtime used to deceive a lot of us. Let's not lie. You will not know that you have done 200 naira, 300 naira, 400 naira, 500 naira, and so on. Oluchukwu, please, can you take over and give me a minute, please? Sorry.
Okay, would you be sliding for me? Okay, so basically, we have like airtime, internet, then we have gas and other things, some other things that we spend money on. So like, what's it called? Internet is one thing. Guys, please, I think we should make a trade. How much do you spend on internet on a monthly basis? Be truthful. How much do you spend on internet on a monthly basis? Because I feel like that thing, if not for internet, by now, what is house in New York I've not bought? What is house in USA that I've not bought? Internet literally is one of my most expensive, expense that goes at a go. No jokes. Because I spend so much money on internet. I think I spend a minimum of 20K every month on internet. By now, I would have built like 5 duplexes. So this is one thing we also need to like put into consideration. And then family, you need to literally have like a budget. I personally have a budget for my family. I don't joke with my family. See, my family, my friends, I have allowance for gifts. I have allowance for activities. I was just even speaking to my elder sister today that, okay, we need to go out. So I need to like have a budget for that. So you need to like have actual allowances every month for this, for like where are you, how much are you giving to your younger brother, or how much are you giving to your dad? Even those of us that are still students, those of us that are still living at home, have a budget whereby fine, they're the ones giving you that 10K, but you want to give them 500. Mommy, I bought you 500 naira airtime. That's scope. It's so that you can get more.
You need to have like everything written down up to the tiniest details. It's very important. So when you have them all written down this way, then you can then now start allocating budgets. Now, I like to allocate budgets based on precedence. By precedence, I mean, I will put how much I see myself spend last month and maybe just tweak it up by 500 naira, right? So I know that my regular expense for data is around 10,000. I use a lot of data, to be honest, just like Oluchukwu. But then because I have a 9 to 5, so I use data at work, right? So it kind of splits it down for me. So when I want to do heavy stuff, I just take it to work, right? So aside from that, I know that I also have a side 10,000 naira for data. So you want to actually do that. So for data, I can say my data can be around 10,000 if I want to stay there. But maybe let's say as I grow, maybe in August, I can increase it to 12,000. Maybe I'll have more tax as at then. So that's budgeting. You want to look at what you spent before and just add a little cap to it for the next month. For January, we are going to just do 1 month. When you get the template, do the rest of the month yourself. So my case study, T, where are you? You have run away. So for January, activities. So let's imagine that activities is you say you stay at home. Do you give money to mommy? Or do you give money to your brother or anything? Needs to be fast. Okay, I don't know if she's still on the call, but let's just imagine that she gives money to mom. So on other activities, some of the stuff she does at home, maybe she fills gas and some other things. Let's just write 5K, right? Oh, sorry, my thing's in the chat. So let's just write 5K. Allowance, let's say she gives mommy time, just like, right? The medicals, let's just budget 10K in case, for anything. So debts, let's imagine that you just have just one debt that you pay 5,000 every month, right? Thrifts, you put us do 100 naira every day. So let's calculate it. Say in a month you do a thrift of 2,000 naira, right? Depends on your income, to be honest. Some of us do thrift of 200,000 per month. God bless your heart. So tuition, you're not in school, books, you subscribe to Scribd, Udemy, say you pay Udemy 3,000 naira, right, in a month. So for books, those of us that read romance novels and you cannot move on without romance novels, it's free online, but say those that like hard copies to store in their bookshelf, they can get like 2,000 a month. Shows, if you want to go to shows, Netflix. So Netflix, I know is one to movies, Showmax, any other thing. If you want to go and look at movies in the cinema, So a ticket is around 153,000 thereabouts. Photography, gym, if you have a gym subscription, is usually 10,000 per month, except for big guys gym. Watch a play. Maybe you have looked at, there's one play that is coming out in April, you want to watch a play, you can budget it there. So for groceries, I think this is where we will spend. So for tea, she said she's staying at home, so she's not buying groceries. But sometimes you might want to eat out, so let's put 10,000 for takeout. Personal supplies like your sanitary pads, some other things. So let's put 2,000 naira. Clothes, yaba guns, 5,000. Laundry and cleaning, 5,000. You do your nails, let's put 5,000 for nails. Depends on where you're staying. If you're staying in Lekki, 10K. If you're staying in Yaba in Lag area, 10K. Bank charges, we're trying to limit our bank charges. We cannot be paying bank officials. So let's say 1,000 naira. Your tithes is 10% of your salary. And we said in our balance sheet here, the salary is 100K, right? So here, we'll just put 10,000. 10% of 100K. So medicals, if you don't do any medicals like myself, you have an HMO that covers, that's wonderful. But always have an emergency fund under your medicals, just for in case. If you don't use the money, you carry it over, that makes a lot of sense. So let's put an emergency of 10,000. Then for home, you do your rent prepaid. So now a lot of people fall in this issue. Like then when it's time to pay your rent, you're in Glasgow. To be honest, you're not alone. I've been there too, right? But one thing that has helped is when you pay that huge money, say in December, right? Starting from January, start paying the next one. So say your rent is 200,000 for instance, and you do 200,000 divided by 12. You get, so let me just quickly do the math here. Do equals. So you have 16,666.67. So you must put that every month, remove it from your salary as expense. Every month, remove it as expense and save it somewhere that you don't have access to, right? So that by the time when your rent is going to be expiring, at the time it's due, right? All you just have to do is take out everything you saved and pay your rent. It's as simple as that. You don't have to touch your rent for any reason whatsoever, right? Then your supplies, so maybe you have house supplies, like toiletries can stay here. Maintenance, you can budget for maintenance in case, of incasity, or you can add it to your emergency fund. Then if you want to change houses, so for me, I know that sometime this year I'm going to change houses, right? So I already budgeted the amount I'm paying for all those moving vehicles. They cannot come and shock me, right? So I already budgeted it, like I don't have more than so amount to give it to you guys, right? And I'm going to just look for the person that will help me within that budget, right? So for your investment, if you have investments, EF is emergency fund investment. If you have any other investment that you intend to do during the course of the year, you should budget that too. Then also technology, transportation. So for me, I spend, let me not cast myself, but averagely, if you go out every morning, you know what transportation is saying in Nigeria, right? But then, from here to the Highland, you are spending an average of like 1,000 to 1,200 every month. Every day. So if you multiply that for like come, it's like 2K. So do 2K multiply by 5, that's 10K. 10K multiplied by 4, that's 40K. So you've been planning for public transit for 30K, 40K average in a month. So if you come to this back, you see that it's actually totaling everything for you in a year, and it's averaging it out also for you. So you put travels in case you plan to travel. So I travel every month. You want to put it there as well. Well, that's great. So she's saying that where she works, they remove it every month and they keep it for you. Fantastic. good workplace like that think about your finances for you. Excellent. So if you scroll down these sheets, please, if you are going to be getting it, please don't touch some of the formulas that are here, right? Because you're not supposed to fill this part. The only part you're supposed to fill is the budget part. Don't fill the actual. Don't manipulate the figures. I said it at the beginning of this masterclass. Please don't deceive yourself. Don't deceive. That's the worst thing that you do. Don't deceive. Don't lie to yourself. If you're going to lie to anyone, don't lie to yourself, right? Don't do that. So you're going to this place would actually be filled by this place. So where you have January. So I know January is almost over, but then you can always put it. So if I put 600 naira for transport, every day you have to take it upon yourself, maybe set an alarm on your phone that says, go and fill your transactions. So every day, whatever you spend, you can put it on your notes. I spent 500 on this, 300. See, no matter how small, track it. Because some of us might think that, oh, it's too small. How much is this? No matter how small, please track it. So if you do 600 naira for, let's say, takeout, let's say clothes, right? If you come here under expense, if you go to where you have clothes, here, this is your 600 naira here. So that's why I say you don't touch this place, don't manipulate it. So as you feel the expense that you make on a daily basis, when you buy, just remove this first line. This is like a sample of how you should feel it. So you can remove that first line, delete it. Like, remember how I say you should delete, just right click on it and click on delete. So when you delete it, you have, when you feel it, you have, when you feel it, say you feel 1,000 naira, they would all go come and be populating this expense. They'll be populating themselves by themselves, right? And then what I've gone ahead to do is I've also created a summary sheet. So if you click on summary here, you will see here that in January, I have budgeted that my income will be 326, but the only thing that came in for me was 2,000. Do you get? So you're now going to analyze that, what did I do differently? Maybe I went to put wrong salary and they did not hire me for the job. Let me not stop deceiving myself and go and remove it. Do you understand? So, and that place is, I know I've not talked about the income. This is the income sheet here. So for the income sheet, please, can you guys see my screen? I need to know you guys can see my screen. Can you guys see my screen, please?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Okay. All right. So this is the income sheet. Is very small. It's quite small. Let me unfreeze this pin. Sorry. I said I want to unfreeze and I went to freeze. Okay. So this is the actual. Like I said, don't touch the actual. Leave it. And you can feel it as you wish. You can change it, like you can change this. If you change this, say your own is, I made it very relatable. Like you can say commission from sales. Maybe you do sales. You can say owner's check. Anything. So the wonderful thing about this, when you change it here, you don't have to touch anything. When you move January here, it's going to change here. It's going to update here for you. It's going to update there for you. So feel free to just always change it. So know what you are changing. That's another thing. Like what I've said so far that you cannot touch is this part, right? I think someone's mic is unmuted. Hello Jade, can you mute your mic? For some weird reasons, I'm unable to mute you. Oh wow. Please, can you mute your mic? Thank you. Okay. So you can feel free to change anything in your budget, right? Don't touch this monthly. It's just a calculation of the sum of this, right? But you can just change your transfer from savings, everything, just so that it suits you, right? So that when you are feeling it, it's personalized. You can click here, change, but leave this side. Then you come here, and on a day-to-day basis, you fill in your transactions just as you go by. Fill in your transactions. If you get money, someone dash you money, you put in as gift. If you get your paycheck, input it 10,000 naira paycheck, and you see that it just comes and it populates this side, it increases this side. Then you can then come back to your summary and always look at your summary, right, and just see what's going on. This place too is calculating it already. It's doing like a summary calculation for you already here, right? So, and this place is then giving you like a summary of how. So when you want to start using the sheets, please can you unmute your mic? You mute your mic rather, Jade. Thank you. So when you want to start, you need to come to the summary page to fill in your starting balance. Your starting balance is just as at today that you started using the sheet. How much do you have with you, right? How much do you have with you? So just input that as your starting balance, right? So that, because that's what it's used to calculate your net actual, your actual ending balance, and some other things. I know there are a lot of questions, except if you guys are not following me. There should be a lot of questions. So anybody have questions for me right now? I'd like to take some water. Anybody have questions for me? Anybody has questions? I want to assume we're not following me, to be honest. Because, guys, you should have questions. You should have questions. Okay, yes. Do you want to unmute or you want to type it? You can type it if you're not comfortable to unmute. Please type.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. So some of us are, not some of us, have loans we're not servicing right now. So where does it go on this thing? Like, I have a loan, I have backlog. So how does it come here? And is there a space for it on this kind of page? That is a current loan that we are currently servicing or we're currently not servicing. Is there a space for it on this kind of template? And how do we deal with it? Thank you. Did you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I got your question. Thank you for the question. Jade, do you want to say something? I can hear you. Hello? Hi. Are you saying anything, Jade? Okay, guys, let me just take that question. I know there's a survey that, I don't know how true the survey is, but there's a survey that says 8 or 9 out of every Nigerian has a loan that they are servicing. And I want us to understand, and this has led to a whole lot of, depression, suicidal thoughts, and this is me reaching out to anyone here personally, that a loan should not, I'm putting it in caps. A loan should not lead you to depression. A loan should not lead you to suicidal thoughts. It is a loan, right? It is you lending something, and yes, circumstances come up and you're not able to, meet up. I want you to be honest and truthful with the company that has given you the loan. Meet with them. If you're not able to meet with them, send them an official email or give them a call, truthfully explaining your situation, and tell them to restructure the loan. There is something called loan restructuring. Tell them to restructure the loan. Okay, I'm not able to pay this loan right now. However, I still have intention to pay. The Bible says that we should not owe. It says we should not owe. So don't owe. I still have intentions to pay them, but can you allow me? So that's one of the reasons why I said you need to have a breakdown of your expense, right? So if you have a breakdown of your expense, right, you then know that, okay, if I'm earning 100,000, right, I know that my expense takes 40,000. If I remove 100,000 from 40,000, if I remove 40,000 from 100,000, I have 60,000 left. Do you understand? If I save 20, right, I have 40 left. Now I can give the loan company 30 out of that 40 that I have left, so that I keep 10 for, in case. So I can call the loan company and say, hello, please, I'm unable to service the loan I have right now. However, I would like to pay 30,000 every month for the next 12 months to pay up my loan. That's what we call loan restructuring. The loan people are actually also out there for business. So they won't gain anything from harassing you. They won't gain anything from locking you. Sure, they would be paying. So I don't want, please and please, I'm talking on behalf of myself and Oluchukwu. I hope I'm speaking your mind as well. Please don't be depressed. Please don't be suicidal. I beg of you, right? Now, on this template, right? If you go to debt, category number 10 here, if you go to debt, you see where you have loan, thrift, tax. See, you can create another line and put, maybe you want to separate the loans. You can right click here and do insert one row above or insert one row below. You understand? And put maybe loan 1, loan 2, if you want to separate it. If you don't want to separate, you can put it together and say, okay, for all my loans, I only have 30K for you, right? And I'll be giving you 5K per loan. It's okay. And please, it's not like you then go arrogantly and go and tell them, I don't have money, you want to keep, no, right? You go politely, tell them what the situation of things are, and then ask them if they can accommodate that. If they can accommodate that, you pay this in a later time. And yes, they will. They will, right? And this is also me telling you that to check out my podcast on loan restructuring. I have 3 whole episodes where I talked about loan, understanding how it works, and and how you can restructure your loan. I have a whole lot more that I can say about loan. I hope that I'm able to make more episodes if Jesus tarries that can speak to these, issues that we have concerning loans and, debts and credit cards and debt financing, debt repayments, and some other things. Yeah, I hope I was able to answer that question. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any other question? So this is what you do. So I've filled January for you, just like we filled January. So I have demo figures here. Feel free to just click on them and click backspace, delete. Feel free to delete them and put in your own figure, right? It's just for you to understand. You're welcome. It's just for you to understand, what you're supposed to put in words, right? So feel free to delete and add and remove just as you want, right? So I even made it like, this looks, I made it like I'm the one actually doing this, right? You see commission from YouTube, commission, like those are like you know, something like looks like mine. So just so that it is relatable. It's not like I just put up a template like that, you know, so it's relatable. So like I said, don't touch the actual part because it is your month-to-month transaction that would actually fill the actual, right? And at the end, you see, I think I've said that, I'll just reiterate, you see a summary page that actually summarizes everything. Don't forget that the first thing that you do is to fill in your starting balance. Your starting balance is as at today, as at now that you got the template, how much cash do you have on you? Like worldwide, in all your bags, everything, how much cash do you have? That's what you put in as starting balance. If you don't put starting balance, it wouldn't work. It won't give you the right figure. So please put in your starting balance. Very important. So this actually automatically populates. Don't try to touch it. Don't touch anything here. This is just for you to come and look and see, aside from your starting balance. So you come here and look because everything here is being populated by all the sheets that we have here. So when you're done with your expense, you come back here, you fill your income. So if you're working as a salary earner, how much do you earn? Let's say you earn 70, we said 100K, 100K. You put in maybe owner's check. Owner's check, if you have a business, how much do you get from it? Your bonus, maybe someone dash, you're expecting dash of say 3,000 naira. Commission from sales, commission from maybe your friend, Tiamo means love. And some other things. Then monthly transfers, you know, maybe you have shifts, you can fill in the months that you're collecting, just fill it there. Interest income, that's interest income are for those that have investments. Dividend, if you have stocks, you get dividend. So gifts, refunds. So let's say if you refund some item, what you hope to get, right? And then your actual, don't fill it. So that would be that on budgeting and actual. I hope nobody, so this is the same thing. It's like I opened in January. It's just the same thing for you to fill your transactions actually. So just like we have expense, income, and actual, I would talk about debt repayment. So I had explained it a bit while I was talking about loan. I feel like you need to have like a target. You need to, and there is something called a reward system. You can do something like that where you can do something like that where by the time you hit your target, you are able to give yourself a reward, right, for actually hitting your target, right? So your monthly goal is you want to pay each of the loan 50,000. Your target is your total loan is 600,000, right? So how much are you supposed to? I have 12 months to pay it, right? So you know that you are supposed to pay a certain amount every week to meet up your monthly goal of 50,000 so that you're able to pay them and you meet up your goal of 600,000 in 12 months, right? So every day, so in a week, every week you're supposed to do like 10K. So let's say week 1, I did 15K. That's great. So week 2, okay, if you see that it is increasing, I did 12. That's great. Week 3, I didn't get much in week 3, so I did 5K. Week 4, I now did 20K. See that this is what I got in 4 weeks. So you can consider, sorry, this 20K. So you can continue like this 55K already. So you can continue like that, track as you're making it, you reach your target of, and as you're coming, you can also write that if I should get to the middle here, I will take myself to Panarottis and go and eat a very good pizza. Do you understand? If I pay off all my loan, I would take myself out. You get, so that you are motivated. Anything that motivates you actually, so that you are motivated, you stay motivated to be able to hit those targets as you go on. Please, does anybody have questions on debt repayment or on loans in general? I'm able to answer anything on loans. I actually have something to say concerning loan, but I'll just ask after if there are any questions first. So then, do you have anything to say on loans? Anybody has anything to say?
Yes,
Okay,
I
I want
do.
to assume. Okay, yeah, please.
So the loan I spoke about,
Yeah.
it's not one, it's like three. So they
Okay.
were when I was doing business 2018 before my business crashed.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to pay some of them. Some of them are still hanging. So now that I've not, they were harassing me at some point. I was sick and they were harassing me. So what should I do now? I really want to pay because I realized when I was doing international education training, I'm trained as an international education consultant. So when I was getting trained, I was told that if you want to travel out, they will check your debt status. Like it could actually affect your international education loan. So now that I'm thinking of it, yes, of course, I'm a Christian, I want to pay. What should I do? Should I first write them mail or is there an opportunity to ask them to? Because 90% of them were accumulating interest. Did you understand
Okay.
my question?
Yes, I got your question. Oluchukwu, do you want to take it or should I go ahead?
You
I
can
don't
go
know
ahead.
if she's here. Okay. Yes. It will accumulate interest because she left it, right? I'll share a story and then I would talk. So I had a debt with the microfinance banks 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. And I was supposed to pay the debt up in 12 months. Then I wasn't able to pay. Like I paid it for like 1 month. And then I realized that God, like I can't leave. If I pay this debt, I won't have any money left with me. And as I then I didn't even have any side hustle. I was like, what am I going to do? So I called them and I was like, I can't afford to pay this amount every month. It was actually for me to pay 120,000 every month. As I then, how much was I? So I was like, no, that was beginning of the year, safe, very beginning. I said I can't afford it, and I was like, okay, can you guys please restructure the loan for me? And they restructured it to 18 months, and then I was supposed to be paying, I think, 80K every month. And by the time I calculated 80K for 18 months, I was already paying 50% of the money I borrowed. Right? So that leads me to, before I continue further in the story, that leads me to something. Let's be mindful of interest rates. Like it is very important. So to take a loan is not the problem. The problem is the rate. At what rate are you taking the loan? Right? There are a lot of companies that will give you loan at 1% per month. That is fair. Right? Look for those kind of companies and don't go to companies that will give you, ridiculous rates, 4%, 5%. That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot. If you are paying 50%, it means you are working for the person. You collected a loan of 200,000, you are paying 300,000 back on the loan. That's ridiculous. So when I didn't even know that, after when they restructured the loan for me, I was like, okay, I'll be paying it. And one day it just dawned on me and I was like, doctors, what are you even paying? I said, no, I can't pay this. I told them that, okay, how much will it cost for me to pay it off immediately? And that's it. They're happy that you don't even know this. You don't have the knowledge because you're working for them actually. So then they now, do you know that some of them, even out of the clause they're giving you a clause that you can't pay it off at once. That was when I found out. And I was like, no, never, it won't work. I didn't know this. They were like, you didn't read it, it's not our fault, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, you have to be considerate. I had to go and beg and, just to cut the long story short, I told them how much I can afford to clear the loan and I cleared the loan. So I'll just like I did, I'll just advise that, have a conversation with them. It might be a phone conversation, right? Or if you don't want to go and meet them, because that time I was also scared that I can go to their office and they will lock me up and all that. But they didn't lock me up. I went to their office. But if you're not able to go to their office, you can give them a call. Because if the matter should get to the government or get to court of law, what the court of law will ask you is, when do you want to pay? right? It's not an offense where they would, if there's a lawyer here, please correct me, but I do not think that is an offense where you've been imprisoned or something. They will ask you, when do you want to pay? And they will give you a time to pay. That's just it. So why not go respect yourself and go to them and tell them, okay, I want to pay up what I owe. Please, can you? So sit down, like I said, sit down. You're earning how much? 100K. Out of the 100K, remove your 40K living expense. You have 60K left. Out of the 60K that you have left, remove let's say remove 10K and you have 50K left. So tell them, this 50K that I have left, sorry, if you want to save, you can save 20K. I have 30K. If I pay 30K for 12 months, do I pay up this loan? So come up with a structure, think about it, pray about it, right? Talk to God about it. I want to pay off this loan. How can you help me? Come up with a structure and, give to them. This is the structure I hope to pay off the loan. And yeah, it's going to work. They're going to listen to you. So I think I heard you say money in the bank. I'm not sure if that's what you said, but I heard something of how about
the
money
question
in the
when you spoke about cash, that one want to start the book, you start with the total cash at hand. And now ask, what should we write the amount in the bank?
No, so I didn't mean total cash at hand. I actually mean money that you have.
Okay,
It's your balance. So you're looking at, if you have 20,000 in the bank and you have 5,000, you write 25,000 here as your starting balance. So the total money, yeah, that's what you put here. So we've spoken about debt a lot, debt payment a lot. So the last thing I have on my sheet is financial snapshot. If something should happen to you today, I'm sure that there is one safe that is locked away somewhere that nobody has access to. Or wrong. Right? So I think sometimes you may lose track. Please, if you have a bank account that you're not using, go and close it. Go and write a letter at the bank and close it, because it will be accumulating debt. And just like Timtopa has said, you'll be shocked that when you want to travel out, they'll check your credit score and you're not able to live anywhere. Or you're not even travel out, you want to do something very important in life and they are checking your credit score. And you'll be like, I don't owe nobody. None of that. The bank account that you left to be reading, it has accumulated SMS charge and you are owing the bank. And you cannot say you're not owing the bank because you didn't close the account. So please, if you have accounts that you're not using, please close them. I'm also speaking to myself because I recently stopped using some accounts. So please put in your financial snapshot, put your bank account, your number, your login information, the notes, your retirement account. Somebody said it's like preparing your will. No, it's not preparing your will. Me, I don't know how to put password in my head. So I like to put everything in a very, like Oluchukwu said, I like it very organized. So put it very organized for me, right? So put them here, your account number, list everything out, your insurance, your card, details of your card, everything such that, and I really don't see why you should have 20 accounts, to be honest, right? So if you want to bank, be loyal, bank with one bank or bank with two banks. Yeah, so that's all I have here on this finance worksheet. I hope that it was a fruitful 2-hour session for us. I don't think, okay, yeah, we have like 15 minutes before the end of 2 hours. So I'm going to do something very, very interesting in the remaining 15 minutes that we have. I like the fact that we are not a lot. It's going to help that this class is very impactful. Trust me, on a normal day-to-day, if you come and meet me, I'm not going to do this. No, I'm not doing that yet. Okay. So I'm not going to do this, but for everyone that is here, I want to ensure that you get value for this class. Me and Oluchukwu would give you like practical steps. If we have not addressed your personal finance problem in this masterclass, me and Oluchukwu would like to have a session with you. We can, if you don't want to talk here, you can, drop a chat. We would send you our email address. You reach out to us. We'll come on the call with you today and we'll talk with you. But if you want to talk to us here, so I'm going to stop recording.
How to calculate we've gotten to around the end of this particular masterclass. We've taken you through how to calculate your net worth, knowing everything that you need to know about your finances. And we walked you through how to track your expenses, listing out all the categories that you want to take note of. And we've also taken you through how to make your budget and how to prioritize what's most important to you at a particular point in time. So I want to say thank you to all of you that have stayed till this time. And yes, you can get the recording. However, the recording will not be free. You get the recording alongside all of the templates that we've showed you how to use at different prices. So there's one of 2.5 whereby you get only the template, while you can get the recording of the 2-hour session and the templates, all of the templates. That's from January to December for your budgeting template, your tracking of your expenses. Okay. Your hands
sorry.
up.
Yes. Sorry, I forgot to share something with us. So I did a monthly track. So you know how you have this one that has like the whole year, but this one has just a month. So you can just use it for month by month. Just use the track. You can duplicate it and do it for the next month like that. So you just put your budget, your plan versus your actual, right? Then here you put in the transaction. It's just like the former one, but this one is just for month by month. So if you prefer this one, it's on seller and it's for 2.5. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you for the clarification. So that's the single one I was talking about. Then the other one that has every single month from January to December and all of the tracking on your Excel sheet, you can get that alongside the recording for 10,500 naira only. 10,500 naira is just around, let's say, 4 or 5 shawarma that you can eat within 1 month. So it's something that's quite affordable. And let's say you don't have it at the moment, it's something that you can actually look forward to affording, right? So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that actually stayed from the beginning of the session right until now. I hope that you brought value. Of course, I want to ask the 4 of you, did you learn anything new? Would you be implementing any of these things? Did you write down anything that you feel like you want to start trying out? Please let us know. And also, we also asked already if you'd love to have like a session with either of us on your personal finance. If you have something you'd like to clarify, if you have something you want to learn, you can also let us know in the comments. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for spending time with us. And you can follow us on social media. You can follow Eniola and as the Money Monday podcast. It's on her bio and her name is Eniola. Then, the dev girl, right? That's the @ Can you type it @ Yeah, then you can also follow me at, yes, this dev girl. Yes, okay. You can also follow me you can also follow Eniola at this dev girl, the Monday Monday podcast. It's also on all streaming platforms. You can go and check up on the old episodes and you're definitely going to learn a lot. She has a lot of invitees, thought leaders that have come to share their experiences. Then you can also join the WhatsApp community. Please and please, you don't want to do your money journey by yourself. You want to have people alongside you who can ask your questions, you can share your stories, you can laugh with, you can cry with. Join the community and be active in the community as well. And yet again, thank you so much. Thank you, Eniola, for hosting this session. And thank you for having me moderate. And yes, you can also follow me at Your Personal Finance Girl. I have a page also that does personal finance, and that is why I'm helping you to moderate. And that is why we have this collaborative session. So I'm going to be seeing you the next time, and I know that all of you would have more than enough testimonies for us. So thank you so much for your time.